Hi, everyone. I'm Melody Bahan. I'm the Executive Director of Minnesota Film and TV, and I want to welcome you to our First Friday Toolkit series. I am so excited about the discussion we're going to have today. We've been trying to get these folks on Zoom for a couple of months now, and we're so excited about what they're doing. I want to welcome the entire team from Speak Minneapolis, and I am going to turn it over to them. I want to introduce the CEO of Speak Minneapolis, Rebecca McDonald. So she will introduce the rest of the team and go ahead and get started.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. We're excited to be here today, share more about what Speak Minneapolis is, what we're about, what we're hoping for, what our vision is, and really introduce you to the team. And we'll first get into introductions. So we have an amazing team with us today that we've been working on Speak Minneapolis and building this new model for community media and public access in Minneapolis since October 2019. We got together when we heard about an RFP that the city put out for stewardship of the public access channels and community media services. And we all have a shared vision for community media. We have a passion for media advocacy, activism, coming together to share stories. So first, I want to introduce Nancy Smith. She's our Director of Operations. She's an enrolled member of the Sisseton Wahpeton Oyate in Sisseton, South Dakota, and she brings 30 years of experience, more than 30 years of experience across strategic disciplines of program design, management, and evaluation. She is passionate about education, educational, economic, social equity, and centering initiatives on the American Indian community, as well as communities of color locally here in Minnesota and across the country. She has worked as a teacher, advocate, lobbyist, grant maker, communications and development director, producer for organizations such as the U of M, the Women's Foundation, the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition, MINCASA, and also with Be Fresh Productions for the last 8 years. So welcome, Nancy. We also have Vera F. Allen. She is our Director of Communications and Programming. Vera is a Black Navajo mother, partner, organizer, and farmer who moonlights as a media and food system activist. She studied social sciences at the U of M and focused on Native American, African American, and Chicano Latino studies. Her love for culture and dimension of philosophy in the city made her decide to raise her children here in the Twin Cities. She was a previous steward for public access in Minneapolis, and her experience impassions her career and her work for media. Her vision to create venues for marginalized people to be proprietors of their voice and images is what she works to cultivate here with Speak Minneapolis. Vera will be working to build more opportunities for Minneapolis residents to participate in media and create pathways to fortify their storytelling in the community. Welcome, Vera. Raise your hand, give us a wave. We also have Ibun Wilborn. She's our Director of Education with Speak Minneapolis. Ibun has over 10 years of public access television experience, hey, and 8 years supporting educators in the Twin Cities public schools. So she's an amazing educator. With a degree in organizational behavioral leadership from Concordia College and a background in audio engineering, Ibun is passionate about utilizing her skills in partnerships with the community and with residents and organizations, cultivating fresh perspectives in emerging media. Her work aims to support creative goals and grow unique visions with impact. She is a proud mother of 2 adorable sons and 1 slightly old and disgruntled cat. She's a foodie whose Instagram page will make you forget your diet. So go check that out. Put your handle in the chat, Ibun. And she's kind and passionate and is always finding a way to bring people together, to bring the best out of people in everyone that she meets. David Buchanan has the radio voice today, but no face, but that's okay. Welcome, David. He's our Director of Creative Services. David is a Minneapolis-based writer and director whose work includes Rideshare, See You Soon, and the newly acclaimed feature film Black in Minneapolis. David started his career in documentary filmmaking at the age of 14, and his work includes countless local stories focused on social justice. When he was 15, he won the Screen Labs Challenge Audience Award at the Screenwriters Workshop, where he developed his screenplays. At 20, he worked on his first commercial project where he learned about the craft of lighting. You have probably seen his face if you're in the media production community in the Twin Cities, because he's written over 15 feature films. He's worked on over 35 shorts, worked on 300 plus docs, and has experience in over 100 commercials and 20 feature films. So way to go, David. He brings a wealth of experience in media to the team. And we have Jasmine Rue Kim, who's our Director of Data and Technology. Hello, Jasmine. Jasmine is a creative strategist working to elevate creative processes, project execution, and business strategy for the creative economy. She holds over 10 years of strategic and creative expertise within R&D, research and development. Hold on one second. I'll get my page. Marketing implementation, digital analytics, and technology design. Her discipline has been practiced across creative markets of retail, consumer products, art institutions, entertainment, and nonprofits. Publication industries, just a wealth of information Jasmine brings to the team. She's also the co-founder and CEO of Monocat Data, a data and technology consultancy for the creative industry with a mission for creative teams to spend less time planning and more time creating, which has helped the Speak Minneapolis team as the Monocat team put together our website and member portal, which you'll see a little bit later. And Jasmine is also the co-founder of the Fourth Wall MSP. It's a platform solution helping artists find local spaces to create, rehearse, collaborate, and perform. In her local community, Jasmine teaches as an adjunct professor at the Minneapolis College of Art and Design, MCAD, is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Inc., and serves as a board member for the Minneapolis Parks Foundation. Welcome, Jasmine. We just got a delivery there, you see in the background. And now we have Liam. Liam is in our studio. He's our intern, and he is a recent graduate from De La Salle High School, class of 2020. He's passionate about photography, digital arts, and marketing. He is currently a freshman at DePaul University virtually. So he's a college student while he's working here with Speak. And he's in the communications and photography programs. He's dedicated to using art to make the world a better place with every step, every photograph, one story at a time. So welcome, Liam, and everybody. Thank you so much, Melody, for having us. We will jump into our presentation. I'm just going to share my screen here. Can everybody see the screen? Speak Minneapolis. Wonderful. Well, yes, again, thank you so much for the entire team for being here today, for all of our viewers, for the Minnesota Film and TV Board for having us. And we really today wanted to talk more about what is Speak Minneapolis, what do we do, the services we provide, our vision for the future, and really open up to any questions that you might have. And I believe Melody will be fielding all the questions. So first, Speak Minneapolis, we launched in September 2020, so not too long ago. Again, we responded to an RFP, request for proposals that the city of Minneapolis put out back in 2019. And we went through a rigorous process, and we were selected to be the new steward of public access TV. We'll talk a little bit more about the history of public access and specifically look into Minneapolis. But first, Speak Minneapolis, we are a member-based media center, and we provide media services and access to Minneapolis Minneapolis residents, and then also steward the public access TV channels 16, 17, and 75 that you can see on Comcast. So a little bit about the history of public access. So it was created back in 1969, between the years of 1969 and 1971. It was part of PEG channels. So that's called Public Education and Government Channels. So the purpose was to provide this non-commercial media and access for city residents to be able to create stories and to have a platform for sharing their stories in a non-commercial way. And that was created through cable franchise agreements. So each municipality, each city has agreements with the cable companies that provide cable in their city, and they provide funding for the PEG channels, so for public education and government. They take a small percentage of their revenue, and then also cable subscribers, you pay a PEG fee. So I just became a subscriber of Comcast to watch our channels at home. And so I look on my bill and I see these PEG fees. So that's actually what's funding Speak Minneapolis right now. We have a contract with the city of Minneapolis, and it's actually with Be Fresh Productions, which is my media production company. And then we created Speak Minneapolis as a division of Be Fresh to really represent everything related to public access. And so from 1983 to 2020, the Minneapolis Television Network, MTN, as you might know the name, served as a steward of public access. And in 2020, we transitioned as the new steward. We have a different approach to public access in a few different ways, which you'll see, but really at the core, we're still dedicated to democratizing TV. We're still all about ownership. So any of our members that create media with Speak Minneapolis, you retain ownership of all the content you create and air on the channels. And we really want to support you in your storytelling power and to make sure that you're the owner of the stories that you're sharing. You're the one directing those stories. We're all about shifting representation. So making sure that those that we have on our channels, the stories, they represent the entire spectrum of Minneapolis residents and beyond. We're also about amplifying your story. So we provide media services and platforms to help you create and amplify your content. So David, can you talk a little bit about the community media services that we provide? Give a little overview and the benefits of being a member.
Yeah, sure thing. So our community media services are media labs or classes and our equipment. And basically what that consists of is if you want to book out the studio in our Northeast location at the Waterbury building, where we have our TV. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit of an echo. All right, that's better. Where we have our production studio, so where you can do all your filming inside the studio with our 3-camera setup and do live streaming to Facebook, YouTube, or whatever your favorite streaming service is. Booking out equipment is easy. We got everything set up on Nexus, and we have some equipment listed up there, and we'll be adding more to it soon. And then you can also book out our hot desk where you can just sit down and use your laptop or whatever you're going to do there. And then of course our editing suites. which we have 2 set up right now in our Northeast location and 1 set up in our North location. And for our North location, it is a setup for photo only and editing. And we are doing our certifications right now. We are also in the midst of finishing up a video where all you have to do is watch the video and you'll be certified for both our intro and for our community media services. So you can come in, use the studio or book out equipment. And then, of course, we'll be adding some more advanced classes where you can do stuff over Zoom or in person. And yeah, that's basically what our community media services is.
And then we have also education. So Iboon, do you want to take us away and talk more about the certification, the intro classes, advanced classes, one-on-one classes that members can participate in?
Yes, definitely. I apologize. I am outside, so you will hear outside noises. Yes, thank you, David. So we want to, adapt to changing times right now as we go through the pandemic. Offer classes, the intro classes that could be available by appointment only, also advanced classes or one-on-one classes, or virtual through Zoom. So for the safety of staff and for people joining Speak Minneapolis, we could offer Zoom classes too to teach you about the basics of video editing, filming, or live production. So everybody, during these times could be like safe, learning from inside their homes to from an instructor from their home. So you'll both get the same training and education from each other. And then if you want to book like one-on-one, we could do that appointment only, socially distanced, especially while we're doing the welcome certification. Some people feel a little bit more comfortable. They feel that they need the information from like a real life person, and we could do that as well. So we'll book one-on-one, book out the space, and just socially distance and give you the tour of the space and guide you through the welcome certification and tell you what we offer and what Speak Minneapolis offers here in classes. So we'll have intro classes that will basically be free for members when you join. And then we'll have advanced classes like teaching Adobe Premiere skills. In the future, we'll offer podcasting classes, journalism classes. Then that will be part of the advanced classes, or one-on-one. If you feel like you need more of a one-on-one setting, not a group setting, you learn more one-on-one with the instructor. We could also provide that for you as well. So we're here to, help elevate your skills and improve your video skills. We want to empower you to take that camera and go out there, document, film, and just use the power of your voice and show the story that you have in your mind, that in your vision, and we want to be there for you. And sorry for the noise. I hear airplanes right now.
Thank you, Iboon. So now we have programming. Vera, will you give us an overview of the channels, the programming, and the different platform opportunities that people can have with Speak?
Hey everybody. Yes, I will commence. We will still be using channels 16, 17, and 75 in Minneapolis, and we're still kind of figuring out and negotiating what the actual kind of voices will be for each of the channels. We have a different kind of we have a different pool of media that we're working with very initially because of the realities of coming from the previous steward to our new organization, and helping folks figure out what they would like to submit for us, and also configuring the channels and making sure that our system has a lot of integrity for data purposes, and so that we can use the data from our programming to expand and offer more opportunities to folks who are submitting programs. Um, the other thing that we're cultivating is an internet opportunity for folks. We hope that one of the strong kind of curves we can make in offering people the opportunity to proliferate their voices to the community and beyond is to really cultivate an internet presence, and help folks to build branding around their specific programs, and help them to build their audiences. So all of that is currently in the works. Like we said, we just launched in September, and we're still fortifying what we have to kind of push off and head toward our vision of providing the ultimate service for Minneapolis residents. And you know, just it's the same criteria. We're not accepting any kind of uh, commercial content. Everything should still maintain an editorial nature, and we're hoping that the opportunities we're giving folks to hone their technical skills will allow folks to really grow their aesthetic and the professionalism of their program, so that they can fortify their brands and make some business for themselves, and find some folks who can really invest in their shows and the stories that they have to tell. There you go.
Thank you, Vera. Sorry, I don't know if people are seeing me messing around with the screen. Are you able to see the slide that says programming right now?
No, ma'am.
Okay, let me stop my share and then restart, because it says that it was not sharing. We have these awesome graphics to share with everyone. Are you able to see it now? Yeah, sorry about that. We got to work on our technical skills at Speak too. It's always a journey. We're always learning. So we're learning with you. I wanted to kind of build on that idea of building community and kind of what that means for potential members, and bring it to Nancy, who's our Director of Operations, really talking about what our vision for Speak Minneapolis is in working with the community and in partnerships, and really what do we want all of our members to walk away with. Let's see, Nancy. Oh, you're on mute, Nancy.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm obviously the elder member of this team, and I actually have over 40 years of experience in nonprofit communities in Minneapolis and elsewhere. But I am a newbie when it comes to media, and especially public access TV. And one of the things that has really excited me about Speak Minneapolis is the broad vision for the stories and the people that we want to bring into our public access center. So community engagement is one of our key goals here at Speak Minneapolis, and it's essential for Speak Minneapolis's aspiration of becoming a true and authentic community media center. So we are currently developing a community engagement plan, and a big part of that is to do outreach in communities across Minneapolis and farther than that as well. So we're looking to bring in the marginalized voices of communities. We're looking to bring in stories that haven't been heard or might have been heard for 1 second on national news, and then we don't hear about them again. We've begun the process, the community engagement process, by developing an online needs assessment, and we've done some community conversations via Zoom with our founding members, with individual media folks, with community media organizations, and then just with the broader community. So all staff are involved with developing that community engagement plan, and we share this vision of being the access point for telling stories, local stories, and broader, from those marginalized voices, those diverse voices, those unheard voices that really truly represent our beautiful and diverse Minneapolis community. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Well, you might be wondering, how can we get involved? How can I become a member? So I'm going to take you back to our membership information. Liam, can you tell everybody a little bit more about the 2 different types of memberships we have?
Of course. So the 2 different kinds of memberships that we have is broken into individual membership and then organizational membership. So for the individual, you can either do the broadcaster or the storyteller. The idea of the broadcaster is more someone who just wants to send in their stuff and have it showed, while the storyteller is someone who wants to come in and use our lab and use our studio to come film stuff and then have it presented. So the broadcaster is going to be, as you can see on there, 10 a month or $100 a year. And then the storyteller is $20 a month or $200 a year. And then on the other side of that, you have the organizational membership. So each of the ones, either nonprofit or the for-profit, both come with 2 storyteller memberships built in. Difference being that the nonprofit is $35 a month at $300 a year, while the for-profit is $60 a month at $600 a year. But throughout all of this, obviously we know that money can be an issue sometimes, and we want anyone who wants to be able to come in and tell their story to have a chance to do that. So everything is at a sliding scale. So you have an opportunity to basically just reach out to us at info@speakminneapolis.com. Shoot us an email, just what you're looking for, what you're looking to do. And we'll get back to you within 10 business days and try to figure out somehow that we can make it work, because we want you to come in and tell your story regardless of where you're sitting financially.
Thank you, Liam. And we also have some amazing member opportunities through using our member portal. So Jasmine Rue Kim is going to take us through, how do you get involved? I'm going to stop sharing my screen so she can also share her screen.
Okay, thanks, Rebecca. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here today. So you want to become a member, which is great. We love that. We want to see you. On the home page, as Liam has beautifully explained, there are 2 ways to get to that. You can become a member by clicking here at the top right-hand corner and seeing all the memberships, broadcasters, storyteller, nonprofit, and for-profit. Or you can click right here under Speak Your Truth to the member portal. When you do go in this space, you'll see the home page. You'll get a preview of the Speak Minneapolis location over at Waterbury. And you'll also be able to see links to events, members, bookings, ability to join, workspace, conference rooms, and you'll also see the difference between individual or organizational memberships. So after selecting join, it will take you through a portal where you'll be able to enter your information, your preferred pronouns. We want to get to know you, so information about your profession within the media industry, how you create. And once you create that, select your membership, you'll be entered into your dashboard. Now the dashboard is really good. It gives you information about bookings, if you have them, payments that are upcoming for you, also tickets if you have events or classes that you're taking with the Boon, expected visitors, and your benefits to your membership. A few key things in here. The community is growing, so you have the ability to see the full directory of members that are in here. You can also see the skill set. So maybe you want to work with artists or filmmakers. Maybe you specifically want to connect with someone who has expertise in digital media. That's in here. And you can also see the calendar. So as more members start to come in, you'll be able to see when things are booked, when things are occupied, and also when things are free, open, and available for you to book. As David mentioned, there's a lot of good equipment and things that we have. As you go through here, you'll be able to see the accessories that are available. You'll be able to see audio equipment that's available on the Next to the site. You'll also be able to see edit suites. So our two locations, the Northeast location at Waterbury, and then also the North Speak Minneapolis North location at New Rules. You'll be able to see the edit suites available there. Same thing with the hot desk. You'll be able to see the hot desks that are available for reservation. Video equipment. The studios, so you can get started creating. You'll be able to preview those spaces. And that's it. So after you make the decision, we hope today, to become a member, that's your process. And we're here to help you through this. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And I'll kick it back to Rebecca.
Thank you, Jasmine. And Melody, are there any questions that you have, even just hearing some new information about Speak that we could kind of address?
Yeah. I mean, I'm so excited about what you're planning. I think this year it is so clear that community voice is vital to speaking the truth, to understanding, to communication, to community. The studios and equipment and training and all of that is pretty straightforward, but what I'd like to dig in a little deeper, if we can, with Vera, is on some of the programming, because I think that in our filmmaking, television creating, content creating community, there is always, this question about how can I get people to see my work? So I know that you're still working on that, but could we talk a little bit about programming for folks that are not familiar with cable access? What has the programming been like, and what are you kind of hoping it will be in the future?
Sure. Well, It has been a while since I have been in direct contact with what the previous steward of public access was doing in the Twin Cities. But I do have some pretty strong relationships with content makers and folks who have been profound in their work. And ultimately, it has been my understanding, and I think I speak for my team when I say that we have also been experiencing folks moving over onto our platform that just don't have the actual hands-on tactile tools to make their programs. And so that bleeds over into what the aesthetic is. So we're hoping to cultivate kind of this new attitude about making public access programming to even begin a kind of interior competition, if you will, so that folks are really caring about what the aesthetics of their programs are demonstrating. But we also have folks in the past who are like our own David Buchanan, who have cultivated their own skills with their passion and use that passion to make dynamic programming, and given public access the opportunity to share their makings. And so we want to make sure that we are both accepting and acknowledging of the vast array of programming that we're expecting to receive from the community at large. But the other thing is that we are all dedicated to the work of media and to building an attitude of respect for media and community media. So I think that what we are projecting and working toward, again, cultivating, is folks who are really after that dream, who are after wanting to, really build their story and tell their story, and then give us the opportunity to help them package it, help them get it out into places where historically community media never really reaches out past the local channels that we have. And it's really our vision that this is a career. You can build a career off of this, and we want to help you, really get those tools, get that the distillation to what the strongest product to present could possibly be, and also connect you to other folks who can help you build this vision out. And because some folks come and they don't have any interest past screenwriting. We want folks to find a community here where they might find other screenwriters, but we also want the lighting guy to find his community. We also want the the stage builders to find their community and connect to the different union opportunities, even that, again, when working in community media, have kind of been extracted from that experience because they're not looked at as professionals. And we know as a group of media makers that some of the most profound, again, the most impactful media has been made by people who would not have the title of professional. And we want to clear that space.
Great. Just a couple more questions on programming. So are you at this point open to scripted narrative programming, music programming. You know, there are so many people doing, just creating their own, whether it's webisode, you know, web series or music videos. There's so much creative work happening here. Is that something that we might see on your channel in the future?
Absolutely. I think I would like to, you know, just reiterate that this is community media, and we're not in, like, by mission, by law, we're not doing anything that would be considered prior restraint. And prior restraint is us sitting somewhere deciding whether or not what you've made is well enough for our channels, or, you know, expresses our views.
Right.
This is a platform for media. It may not be what, you know, freedom of speech for everyone, even if I don't agree with it, unless it's hate speech, because then I might, you know, personally. but
So
yeah.
how can people who are interested have a voice in the programming that's going to be coming in the future? Is that membership, or are there
Yes.
other ways? Okay.
Well, that's the thing, you know, being the steward requires that we explicitly work with a membership that is cultivated through the franchise agreement, and our relationship with the city, and our relationship with the cable. Like, we do have to nurture a community. And so in order to get through into this kind of this portal, you would have to become a member. Yes.
Okay, great. If folks have questions, feel free to put those in the chat, and we will get to those. But it has been a pretty quiet crowd here. Rebecca, do you have anything that you want to add at this point?
Well, just the unique story of how we got here. So we ended up signing a contract with the city in May. And the process with them, there was a negotiation process, you know, attorneys involved. It was a really, really intense, wild ride since October, when we first started contemplating what this new organization we wanted to build could be. And in that time, we had a pandemic happen, and is still going strong. We had civil unrest in our city. So as I was actually filling out all the Minnesota Department of Labor paperwork for everyone to be employees and contractors, like, the city was burning. I mean, we had started this organization through so much, and even in the period of time of putting our proposal together, submitting it back in December 2019, we've had to completely reimagine even what we had proposed back in December. So I think that I wanted just to speak to the team here, and that we're a collective of media professionals, we're entrepreneurs, many of us have our own businesses, that we kind of bring all of that expertise to the table, and to really think about the unique approach that we're bringing in just, say, for example, a pandemic. We are still able to operate. Many access centers during the pandemic had shuttered their doors. We are launching during a pandemic, which is just such a wild ride. I also wanted to bring in that we have Liam, who just recently graduated from high school during the pandemic, and that we bring such a diversity of thought. You know, not only are we diverse in our identities, but our ages and experiences, and we have every single generation represented, from Gen Z to baby boomers, you know, so it's just such an amazing team to work with. And we're really wanting the community to come to us and tell us your ideas. We're in such a startup mode that there's there's so much room for collaboration with the community, and we're really excited to have this opportunity to share more about where we are, but we're still in the startup phase. We're still working on nurturing, like Vera said, the founding membership. So those are the members that came over that were members of MTN that are interested in checking us out for the year. So we actually gave anyone that was a member of MTN a free membership through the end of 2020. So if you are currently a member of MTN or previously and you would like to try out Speak Minneapolis, feel free to email us, go to our website, info@speakminneapolis.com, or our website, speakminneapolis.com. And let us know that you'd like to check us out. And we'd love feedback, information. It's just been a wild ride. And also I wanted to pass it to Nancy and talk about our COVID policies. So we're able to operate within the framework of the pandemic. We're being very careful, but I'd love Nancy to kind of talk about what the procedure looks like. So if you are a member, what does that look like in our media labs?
Sure. So we're currently operating at 50%, and we follow the procedures and guidelines from the CDC, the Minnesota Department of Health, and OSHA. So of course we require before you come in that you make an appointment. And when you arrive, we will take your temperature. We ask that you sign a waiver. And when you do come into the studio, we require a mask and social distancing. So I think we've really been very careful about that, making sure that our facilities are safe sites for our members and our other key stakeholders.
So we do have a question here. When content providers join you, is there a minimum or a maximum length on the content that they're creating?
The biggest difference is whether or not you aim to occupy a regular time slot. If you're someone who's interested in, you want to have Thursday at 9 o'clock every week for, 3 months, then you have to stay within either 28 minutes and 30 seconds or 58 minutes and 30 seconds, which is the previous rule. But if you want to make a 3-hour movie and submit it, you can make a 3-hour movie and submit it.
Great, great. So this is a question just very generally, broadly. I give the city of Minneapolis credit for trying to reimagine cable access and community programming. And I was involved in some of the very early conversations that the city had about this. Is there, I mean, obviously you're going to say, yes, there is a future for community programming and cable access, but how is it different from the internet? Say when everyone is a publisher, everyone is a creator, what is Speak Minneapolis offering that folks won't be able to find on their own?
That's a really good question, and it's something that we really focused a lot on as we were preparing our proposal and trying to imagine what does community media look like. And the city was really tasking us with creating a model that's sustainable. But sometimes that means that you have diverse revenue streams. And as a lot of us are entrepreneurs, we have experience in building businesses. So we're looking at public access, and we are also the first, from what I know, for-profit company that's a steward of public access. So Be Fresh Productions is an LLC. And there's a really clear transparency that we built into our model to make sure that, because these are public dollars that come from the city of Minneapolis, that it's very transparent. So we have to follow everything that a traditional nonprofit would have to follow in terms of finances. And our approach is to build the revenue streams that we have and really focus on community partnerships. And the partnerships are also, for example, with our North Minneapolis location, that's a partnership with New Rules, which is a co-working event space for creative people, and they have the capacity. So our model is saying, hey, let's join up. We feel like we're stronger together, and we want to make sure that we're investing in our communities that all already have capacity, building on those relationships. But really going back to your original question is like, what are we doing differently besides that sort of model around public access and the sustainability of it? We're creating a community. So you have here, how many people? 7 people that are here working on Speak Minneapolis, that are here, that members can access. So there's also a way that members can schedule time with one of the leadership team to talk about a project, to get information about whatever media questions that they have. And that's actually something that I had posted in talking about this event today. Like, feel free to call us up, ask us media questions. We're here as a resource. I think a lot of people will find, yeah, you can go to YouTube, you can Google, how do I do this in Premiere? But here we have a community of people that are here to support our members and really want to cultivate that sense of community. I think that's what the internet doesn't really do. It's creating those networks and connections for people.
Great. We had another question submitted, and I think David's going to take this. David, do you want to cover that?
Sure. I'm looking for the question right now.
It's once you become a member, how are you facilitating community connections and networking so that we can find collaborators?
So how it usually goes down is there's this feature in Exodus, right, where you can actually communicate with each other, and we have forums out there so you can ask each other questions and help each other out. And we're also hoping that, we're going to just build our community and like be able to share with each other. And that way it'll be easy for you to kind of have collaborations with each other in the same space when we get things kind of opened up. But mostly it's done through our platform at speakminneapolis.com, and when you sign up there.
Great, thank you. So we're coming up on 1 o'clock. Does anybody have any final thoughts that they want to share? I mean, I would certainly urge everybody to check out the website and just reach out to any of the team and talk to them directly if you have questions. The experience and knowledge up here on the screen is pretty phenomenal, so take advantage of it. But if anybody has any final thoughts, I would love to hear them, and then we can all go see what's happening nationally. I heard there was something going on today. I don't know.
I just wanted to kind of put a statement out. I think folks who are participating in this conversation and who might, send our message out beyond this presentation should really understand that each one of the people in this group signed up to do this because we have an actual passion for community media. We have a passion for folks to get their stories out. We have a passion for building community and building, you know, this as an infrastructure for community so that people have a place to trust. When everything else gets muddy and muddled, you can always come back here and know that we are acting with the clearest transparency, with the utmost integrity, and that is the premise of everything that we elected to do with our model and the work that we do every day. It is completely and absolutely for the community. We want to be a place where, you know, Emmy winners push off. We want that for you. That's what we're working for.
Wow, that's fantastic. You know, I've said before, and I will say it again in this context, that storytellers are superheroes. You know, you have so much power, and I expect and know that you will use your power for good. And I'm so excited. Any other final thoughts before we wrap up?
Well, we're in the studio right now. If you want to take a quick tour with us.
Let's do it.
Liam is actually in the other room. So I'm going to mask up. We have, this is our Northeast Minneapolis Media Lab. So we're in the Waterbury building. So there's different access points to the building. We have a nice garage door that opens up to the other tenants here. Let's see. So we have 4 edit suites here. Right now, like Nancy mentioned, we're at 50% capacity. So that means like once, you know, we're out of this pandemic, we will actually have capacity to have 4 people at the desks here, but right now we have 2 available, as well as our hot desks. So you can come in, co-work, come in. That's the part of the community and the network building. So building off of what David said, that we have in-person opportunities for you to come in the studio, to meet other creative people. We're also trying to do a lot of that virtually right now. So we have a little kitchenette. So people can come in, drink some coffee and tea. We have snacks. And then we have the studio. So right now we're in the process of building out. We have some set walls that are getting built. We have some new gear that we're going to be purchasing before the end of the year. We have our live stream set up here. And David, do you want to talk about the studio specifically? And I can kind of give you a little tour.
Yeah, so just recently we threw some lights up on the grid. We're going to throw a couple more up there as well. So there's going to be our backlights. We got a 3 camera setup on the pedestals, the rolling tripods. We got our computer there for our live streaming and all that good stuff. It's right now it's set up on the Speak Minneapolis Facebook, so you can stream right to Facebook. And we got a platform happening, and we're gonna bring 2 more, so you can kind of build that out if you want to. And we got some gear in the back for the studio that will be available for the studio. So that's our rental side. So on one side it's our rental, and eventually we're going to put up like a door there and stuff like that. So that would be our rental thing. So if people want to check out, we can go back there and check it out. But on that side is all our stuff for the studio. So that's our lavs and our microphones and our light stands and a few more lights on that side, and then cables and all that good stuff. And yeah, and then eventually in the studio we'll have paper, so you can roll down paper and shoot some stuff on that if you'd like to. And yeah, and Rebecca already mentioned the set wall, so we'll have that for you as well. And it's going to be fantastic. and you're gonna love it.
Hey, David, do you have all of the technical specs up on the website for the studio?
Yeah, I believe we do have the size of the space up there, don't we? When I was looking at it, I think it's the size of the space. We don't have everything that's listed in the studio right now, so we don't talk about our lavaliers and
Right.
snakes and stuff like that. But pretty much everything that you remember that was at MTN we have, and it's in the studio space. But we have everything you need to get up and going right now. So we got a 12 snake. We got a 12 snake right now, I believe it is. So you can plug in. We're not gonna have 12 people in the studio, by the way. So at 4 people because of what's happening with COVID. So we have more than enough microphones for you to come in and do your thing. We got the microphone stands. We got some light stands. We're gonna be buying new equipment so that way you can have a little bit higher production value. But we got the HD set up right now with our 3 cameras going into the box, and you can control everything from the computer. And yeah, so it's like whatever you want to do and come in and get going right away, we have everything set up for you right now.
That is fantastic. So we're at 1 o'clock. I just want to say, Nancy, Jasmine, David, Ibun, Liam, Vera, Rebecca, thank you all so much for being here, for taking the time to share all of this information with us. And thank you for the great work that you're doing. I urge everyone, go to the website, it's in the chat, and take advantage of this incredible resource that we have here in the community. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, y'all. See ya.